This is the pick that everybody was expecting. This is the pick that everybody said was going to happen. I wasn't necessarily buying into it. I thought that a lot of people saw, Kenny Pickett went to Pitt, and you have the Pittsburgh Steelers pick 20. They need a quarterback. Let's just say, Kenny Pickett goes to Pittsburgh, and let's get some clicks on this mock draft article. That's what I thought was happening, but it ends up that when there's smoke, there's usually fire. Kenny Pickett goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the best landing spots that you can have. We talk about this all the time that, nobody on YouTube should be coming out and trying to convince you that there's some expert quarterback scout. If I came out and told you that, you got to listen to me, I'm better than these NFL teams that evaluating quarterback talent, I would be a liar, and anybody else that tells you that on YouTube is most likely a liar based on historical track records of NFL ADP versus just Dynasty ADP. And I'll tell you right now, the NFL draft capital is way, way, way more predictive than actual ADP. But what we do really care about is we care about where those quarterbacks go in the NFL draft. He goes in round one. And at the same time, that landing spot, he's going to a team that, yes, has a struggling offensive line, but what I love to see is the organization overall with the coaching staff as well. We saw this last year. You have Trevor Lawrence going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is leaps and bounds. He's a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett could ever dream of, but you put him on a Jacksonville Jaguars offense that has Urban Meyer there, that has really no supporting cast to help Trevor Lawrence through his rookie season. What ends up happening? It doesn't matter the talent that you thought Trevor Lawrence was. He's not panning out. Conversely, we go over and we look at Chicago, where with the Chicago Bears, you have Justin Fields. A lot of people love Justin Fields. I hated Justin Fields' his rookie season for a multitude of reasons. People were way too high on him. And one of those reasons was he goes over to the Chicago Bears with Matt Nagy, and we kind of see how that pans out. We kind of see that you have really just no shot for him to find success. And it's not like these teams could just fix everything the second year in. It's so hard to turn an NFL team around. This is why you see different NFL coaches with the Jacksonville Jaguars, with the Cleveland Browns, with the Detroit Lions, with the Chicago Bears, year in and year out. But what you don't see is change with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record as a head coach, and he has had some horrendous quarterbacks over the past 5 years. Mike Tomlin, you could say that this is a well-run organization. He will be stepping into a situation where he's going to thrive. Now, I think that Trubisky will start right away. I don't think Kenny Pickett is ready to start, especially in the range of the draft that he actually went in. I would not be surprised whatsoever if this is a situation where Mitch Trubisky starts for the first 8-10 games this season, and then eventually Kenny Pickett gets put in the back half of the year. Now, it's going to be interesting because, like I said, I expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to be a decent team this upcoming year. I'm not expecting them to beat the Baltimore Ravens or the Cincinnati Bengals for the division, but especially with the expanded playoffs, they're easily going to be in the playoff hunt for a wild card, and it would be interesting to see them potentially take out Trubisky, even if Trubisky's failing, in favor of Kenny Pickett. But if you look at the Mitch Trubisky contract, obviously you're not going to be surprised to see that there's not much guaranteed money in the long term. I think this has to be a good thing. It has to be good for Deontay Johnson, for Chase Claypool, for Najee Harris, for Pat Freiermuth, because now you have another shot. You have another roll of the dice, because if all of a sudden, Mitch Trubisky proves to be who he was through the first 4 years in Chicago, proves to be a very bad NFL quarterback, if we didn't have another option to go to and you draft Deontay Johnson, you're screwed. You got nothing to do. But now if Trubisky comes out and just is downright horrendous, which I'm not necessarily saying is going to happen, but you do have that alternate option. You do have the potential to pivot over to a Kenny Pickett, which could be a lifesaver for these players. Let me actually pull up where you have players like Deontay Johnson, where you have someone like Chase Claypool going on Underdog. I know we've said this a million times tonight, but I'm going to continue to say it. They launched a $10 million prize pool for Best Ball Mania 3. Fantasy football drafts. Go get in them. I'm going to be streaming over 200 of those this offseason. Use promo code FLOCK when you make first deposit. They'll match it dollar for dollar up to 100. You'll get our Dynasty rankings. You'll get our rookie rankings. And at the same time, you'll get our Dynasty research book. Please go take advantage of that. But right now on Underdog, you have Deontay Johnson going behind DJ Moore. Give me Deontay Johnson. He's going behind Amari Cooper. Give me Deontay Johnson. He's going behind Mike Williams. Give me Deontay Johnson. He's going behind Jerry Jeudy. Give me Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is a massive value right now. I like the addition of Kenny Pickett. Like I said, I don't expect him to start right away, but I do think it raises the floor of this Pittsburgh Steelers situation overall. Chase Claypool's going later. I'm not as big of a fan of Chase Claypool. I like Deontay Johnson more because we saw the consistent volume this past season. Chase Claypool's going right after those rookie wide receivers in Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Treylon Burks. If we're talking about where you actually end up with Kenny Pickett in Dynasty rookie drafts, it's interesting to see where Malik Willis goes in this draft, because obviously most people thought Malik Willis was going to be the quarterback one off the board. Malik Willis, if he goes round one, is still probably going to be my quarterback one in this draft class from a fantasy football perspective, because we know that rushing upside means so much. Malik Willis has it. I still lean Willis, but who knows? Maybe he continues to fall. Maybe Malik Willis just goes way, way later than anybody was expecting, and Kenny Pickett ends up being the quarterback one in Dynasty drafts as well. But if you're talking about the elite level wide receivers in this class, guys like Garrett Wilson, Drake London, if we're also talking about Treylon Burks just going to Tennessee, I'm going to prefer those elite level wide receivers still over Kenny Pickett. I'm still going to prefer Breece Hall. Of course, Breece Hall is still that top option. And potentially, I think we could also see Kenneth Walker over Kenny Pickett as well, dependent on where Kenneth Walker gets drafted later. Probably not getting drafted tonight, most likely getting drafted tomorrow. But I think that should be it. Please go down there, drop a like. We should have another live stream happening very soon, I'd imagine, based on all the trades we've seen this offseason. What you think that we're going to get a Patrick Mahomes trade next? That's what my bet is, a Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady trade, because who the hell knows what's going to happen. But of course, thank you all so much again. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you with the live stream in just 1 second.